kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I just cactused myself. Like I smashed my arm onto this cactus on accident. What are we in the wild, wild west out here? I'm really excited for today's favorites and fails because I feel like these are products that are not just gonna be fads in my routine. If that makes sense, they're gonna truly stick around, and I feel like you're gonna see them by the end of the year. One skincare product in particular I have become obsessed with. If you are new here on my channel, hi, my name is Rudi. I upload twice a week. We talk about more than just my favorites and fails. We talk about skincare, mental health, vlogging, makeup. I'm about to go to Miami. I'm in a good mood. And I also have some crappy things that I want to share with you. And I know a few of you might actually like some of these products from our conversations, and that's okay. You know, not everything is made for everybody, and we'll get to that. Also, I found these at Publix. Aha, sparkling water. This is peach and honey. Look at me, I'm like swatching. This is the peach and honey flavor, and it tastes like tea. It tastes like a peach tea from Trader Joe's, and there's absolutely no tea in it, and it's just water.
It's just water. It's just water.
So this is an honorary mention in my favorites. First favorite is something that I actually just talked about in my last video, which was going over some of my new makeup that I picked up from Sephora. And this is the In Beauty Project Lip Glaze in #1. And I don't have anything on my lips, so I will go ahead and put this on and show you what it looks like. It's like in between a gloss and a balm and an oil. Even more so than like my other balmy products that I have. I would say this is much more like a gloss than like the Ilia Beauty or the Merit Beauty lip oils. This is way more like a gloss, but there's no real stick to it, and it also sits on your lips for a long time. So I feel like that paired with the color is just perfect for me. This is in shade 01. Like I said, it smells like candy, like berry candy. Ooh! I know that Cassandra Bankson came out with a video about this brand. I need to follow up and see where that ended up, but she basically was saying that she thinks that they paid for all of their reviews on Sephora's website, which is a pretty bold claim to make about a brand right off the bat without talking to them, but it could be true. I honestly don't know. I do know that a lot of the times reviews like that before a brand is launched comes from like Octoly or Influencer, like those boxes where people are paid to leave reviews. So it could be that, it could be a million things, but I don't know, I'll have to like follow up that loose end. However, I will say the gloss is amazing. I haven't tried any of their skincare that they sent just because I mentioned it's really heavy on the exfoliants and a lot of active ingredients, and you guys know I just don't use a lot of exfoliators, so I've kind of pushed it to the side, but I'm really into this, and if they come out with more beauty products, I will definitely check them out. This is a flop that is a double flop because I've actually tried this before in life and hated it, and now I hate it again, so double flop. This is the Juno & Co. Microfiber sponge, and it's just not for me. This is a velvet microfiber sponge. So it has the elasticity of a beauty blender, but the outside of it is fuzzy like a brush. I don't know if you can tell from looking at it. I have tried to use this wet and dry before, and I think it's a combination of things. One, my skin is drier now than it used to be, and so this kind of dries out your product and leaves you with a higher coverage finish. And the second part of it is that I am using a lower coverage concealer look or lower coverage in general. So because of that, I need pretty much the coverage that it can offer because it's not a lot. And this just kind of makes it look dull and matte. I just don't like it. I like a sponge that gets wet and feels damp to really help with the blending. And this just feels like I'm rubbing velvet on my skin, which maybe some people would like, but me personally, I'm not a fan. It's also got a flat bottom, completely flat bottom, which same girl. But I don't feel like this is useful to me because it still has that edge there and it just kind of leaves circles on your face. It doesn't get any bigger when you wet it. It's just too strange for me. I'm either gonna go in with a brush or I'm gonna go in with a sponge, but I personally don't want one that is both. I tried to use it. They actually sent this to me, so sorry, Juno & Co. This is just not for me. But if you try and make another sponge that doesn't have velvet on it, I will certainly try it out. Which, speaking of coverage products, my next favorite is the Nude Sticks Nude Fix Creamy Concealer. I picked up this concealer during the Sephora sale, and I am so glad that I did. Mine is in shade Nude 4, And I'm really impressed with my color match, to be honest with you. It is a, I would say, in between light and medium coverage concealer, but probably light for most people. Medium, light to medium for me, because I could go as light as the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, which is barely any coverage at all. I had an idea that I would really like this based off of the videos I've seen of people using it. It also is sort of the better alternative for me in their coverage products, because most of their full face coverage products, like their tinted moisturizers and their foundations, have lavender oil in them, which I'm like, come on, nobody wants that anymore. They say that it's in there because they want people to relax while they're using it. I'm like, I'm not going to relax if I smell lavender oil. In fact, I'm going to be panicked. The only other thing that I don't like about it is the applicator tip is so small. Like this, to hold it, you know, you have to just hold it by this tiny little top there, but I can get over it because the coverage is so beautiful. It blends in beautifully. It's one of those concealers that you can just wear alone without any foundation, which is kind of rare to find in a medium coverage concealer. It has been what I've been using every single day, and I will continue to use this. Highly recommend. So my next fail is one that I'm actually kind of disappointed and sad to say, because a lot of you guys have actually recommended it to me to pick up, and that is the Color Science Sun Forgettable SPF 50. I've already returned this product back to Dermstore, which is where I purchased it, but I did do a try on my Instagram story, so I can put that video in so you guys can get a feel of why I didn't like it. This left an insane white cast on me, and my skin is not that dark. I am light to medium, verging on full medium when it comes to my skin tone, and it left me looking like a ghost. Of course, I used the full 3 fingers lengths, and no matter how much I blended it in, it still looked white, and it looked all day like I had this little purple cast on my skin. It really bothers me that so many companies are willing to state on their marketing that their SPF, that is a zinc SPF, a mineral SPF, is invisible, when it clearly is not. And so many times the marketing is just like one tiny little pump on the side of their cheek, which by now we all know that the recommended amount is 3 fingers lengths, and you should be reapplying every 2 hours, which I personally don't unless I'm outside all day, but that is what they recommend. So when brands that create skincare use a tiny drop on the side of their face to show that it's invisible on a dark skin tone, it really bothers me. And that's what I found to be the case with this sunscreen. It claims to be invisible. It's not even invisible on me. There's no way a black person or someone darker than me would be able to wear this sunscreen. There's no way. However, I will say I loved the way it felt. I loved the ingredient list, and it felt really hydrating, but was also very lightweight. So for that reason, I did exchange it for the Glow version, which has a darker tint and it's a little bit more glossy, glowy, and I'm hoping that it's kind of an alternative to the Super Goop Glow Screen, because I don't like chemical sunscreens, and that one actually irritated my skin quite a bit. So I'm hoping that this is sort of a mineral version and that the tint is going to match my personal skin tone a little bit better. However, I still would not recommend even that version for someone with dark skin, because it's going to leave a huge white cast. Once I get the Glow version in, I'm thinking of making my favorite SPFs video, and hopefully that one will make it based on the color and the tone, so I will keep you guys updated. Got a little random fashion favorite, and I realize I'm sitting down and this is not going to be helpful to you, but my favorites this month in terms of jeans, which I can't believe we're starting to get back into jean wearing, so I, tried all my jeans on, and a lot of them don't fit anymore. So I went and bought a few new pairs from American Eagle, and from their stretch line specifically. Let me back up so you can get a good visual here. This is not helpful, is it? Not helpful. So I have 2 pairs. One is the fully flared, and it is the super stretch jeans, and they're a little bit of a darker wash. And then I also bought the mom jeans, which is in the regular stretch, and they have a little bit of a tapered bottom, which we'll talk about those. I don't see myself purchasing jeans anywhere else after buying these because they are so comfortable. The flare is just the most comfortable. It feels like you're wearing leggings basically. It has a little knee hole here, and the flare is just wide enough to make it look like very 70s without kind of overloading your legs. And I typically get a short from them instead of the regular or the long pants. But with the flares, if you do pick these up, I would recommend going with your length or one length longer, because when I ordered the short originally, which I have a video of me putting these on, they were too short. So when I exchanged them for the regular, they hit perfectly around my ankles and they look great with heels. So stretchy. So if you're feeling a little bit negative about your body and you know that you need to buy some new pants, check out their stretch line, because They really move when you move, and they're comfortable to sit in, which is like the biggest problem I have with jeans. And again, with the mom jeans, if you want to be in trend, these have a little bit of looseness around the butt and around your thighs. They're not quite a skinny jean, but they're almost there. So if you're one of those people who's like not quite ready to dive into these big trends, try out the mom jeans from American Eagle because they feel like a skinny, but they look a little bit looser around the waist. So I have a random fail from a brand that I'm not even sure you guys are gonna really care about, but maybe. The brand Eve Lom, they sent me a few things, and honestly, I should have just not accepted when they asked because I looked at the ingredients and I kind of knew that I wouldn't be able to use them based on the fact that they all had like menthol in it, which is the problem that I want to discuss with these. I actually gave most of them to my mom. This is the Dynaspot Rescue. It's like for a spot treatment, and it includes salicylic acid, but it also has tea tree in it, which I don't really love. And then again, there's menthol in all their stuff. And this is one that I tried and is okay, and I think maybe I would use it when I'm sick, but this is the Kiss Mix, and this is like a lip balm that has menthol in it. And I don't really like that from day to day, like to have that super minty feeling on your lips. It doesn't have a smell, and it's like in a pot form. And I could see this working well when you're sick and you like need something underneath your nose to kind of give you a little jolt of energy. But I gave my mom the spot treatment mask and this all over rescue mask because I opened it and it was like chemically minty mess, and there was just no way that I was going to put that on my face. And I actually told them that in feedback. I think that this is probably better for people who have mature skin that's not sensitive and just want that kind of like tingling feeling, which is not for me. So if you've tried anything from this brand, let me know. I'm not going to like write them off completely, but I don't think that these were made for someone like me with sensitive skin. The biggest favorite of the month, and if you were going to pick up anything from this video based on my recommendations, is the Paula's Choice Omega Plus Complex Serum. I talked about this in my 18-month tretinoin update, just kind of going over my routine and things that have changed recently. And this is also a product I picked up during the Sephora sale on one of my friend Dana's recommendations as an alternative to the Great Barrier Relief. First of all, this has 1 fluid ounce in it, and it is like a gel consistency, not gel. It's a thick serum, kind of like the Great Barrier Relief, but it thins out a lot quicker and there's no oil in it. So it doesn't have that kind of greasy feeling that's left after you use the Great Barrier Relief, which for some reason I'm just not drawn to using that. I think it's because once I had fungal acne and I thought that my skin barrier was messed up, which in one way it was, and I used the Great Barrier Relief and it actually made my breakout much worse. This is incredibly lightweight on the skin. I have used this in the evenings and in the mornings without any problem, under my makeup, under my tretinoin, under my SPF, under my moisturizer. I like to put this on first step when I get out of the shower and my face is still damp to really lock in that moisture. It has glycerin in it, so it really is going to pull all of the moisture from your face into your skin, and then you could lock it in with your nighttime moisturizer. It says on the bottle that it's for all skin types, and it strengthens and nourishes for visibly smooth, healthy, glowing skin. And it has chia and flax seeds in it, and if you smell that, it's kind of like, it smells like flax seeds. Paula has done it again, and right now, this is my favorite serum that I own, and I feel like I'm gonna fly through it. So this is the fail that I said I think that a few of you are gonna be maybe not so happy about, and that is the Function of Beauty shampoo and conditioner. They actually reached out to me via email to send me my own shampoo and conditioner that you create with them, basically. They send you like a quiz, and it asks like what kind of hair problems you have, what you'd like to work on, do you have long hair, is it curly, is it straight, is it color treated, just all these different questions to help make you like a specific formula for your hair. And then at the end, you can also choose a color, a dye for your products, along with a scent. And of course, I went dye-free and fragrance-free. So I used these in as many ways as I could before my hair was about to fall out, basically. I used them together. I used the shampoo with a separate conditioner. I used a different shampoo with this conditioner. Like, I really tried to make these work to see if there was one or the other that I could keep in my routine, and honestly, you guys, they just did not work. My hair was left so stringy and so dry, but at the same time, it got much oilier a lot faster than my usual routine, which if you are interested in how I do my hair or my current shower routine, I have an entire video on that I can link up above. It just, usually I can wash my hair twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. Sometimes I can go over 5 days without washing because of the current routine I have. And with these, I had to wash my hair within 2 days because my scalp was so dry, which made it very oily. I just feel like it stripped my hair, and then I feel like the conditioner didn't do anything to add that volume and add that bounciness back into my hair. If anything, it just looked flat. And since deciding that I didn't like these, I saw a couple videos on TikTok of girls saying that Function of Beauty had made some of their hair fall out, which I have no idea if that has anything to do with these products in particular, but I know I'm not the only one who has had issues with them. But on the flip side, I also know that a lot of people use their products and have zero issues. So take what I say with a grain of salt. You saw what I put as my answers. I would avoid and either try a different brand or find a way to answer them differently to get a different customization, because unfortunately these just were not worth it for me. My last favorite is the tiniest favorite you'll ever see. This is the Freck Beauty OG Freck. I've talked about this a few different times on my channel. It's essentially a freckle maker. I'm actually wearing it today on my nose, if you can see. I've started using this in a very specific way, which is you take the little daughter, and I've been doing it pretty much only on my nose and dotting it out around my nose and the bridge of my nose. And I feel like it is the most natural look that I've been able to create with a fake freckle maker. This one in particular is very easy to use. It has a little bit of a red tint to it, so it looks natural. However, I would prefer a lighter brown tint just based on my skin tone. So I actually did purchase the ColourPop freckle maker to see if that one is a little bit more suited for my skin tone in terms of color. But this one lasts all day. I love the look of fake freckles. I wish so badly I had them naturally, but Croatians really don't have freckles. Some do, I'm sure. I'm sure someone's gonna comment and be like, I'm Croatian and I'm covered in freckles, but I'm really just hairy and have a lot of eyebrows. I have one more sneaky favorite. Actually, it's a book. It's a poetry book from Catherine Cohen, and it is God, I Feel Modern Tonight. Poems from a Gal About Town. So my favorite podcast is called Seek Treatment. Me and my best friend Andy, we are obsessed with it. It's Catherine Cohen, and her podcast co-host is Patrick Regan, and they are comedians based out of New York, and they're just so funny. They're also millennials. I'll give you an example poem here. So they're all kind of mostly funny or satire, and then there's like a few that are actually sweet. So here's one called Poem I Wrote After Calling Someone a Darling of the Scene. I'm sorry I bailed on the yoga booty ballet class we signed up for. I did not sleep well last night, and I'm still reeling from the time I slept with someone who didn't know who Greta Gerwig is. This is a picture of her in the back, as if she's ever gonna see this, but I love her. This book is funny. It's smart. If you are a young woman in your 20s, you'll relate to it in many ways. It's pretty cheap on Amazon. I love it. I want to know down below if you guys have tried any of this, especially Function of Beauty. Do you have another opinion to share with me about it? Do you want to pick up the Paula's Choice Serum, or do you have one in your routine right now that's working really well from you? Of course, I want to know that too, so I can pick it up. I hope you'll stick around. Next week, we are doing my first ever YouTube giveaway. Yes, that's right, a giveaway. We're going to do a skincare giveaway and a beauty giveaway. I cannot wait to talk to you guys all about what it was like for my first year on YouTube, and I will see you guys then.